Good evening, everyone. If you don't know, you should know. My name is Rameez and I'm a filmmaker and a film critic, and it's time for the review of Samurai Jack Season 2.
Jack. Watch it. Jack.
Season 2 of Samurai Jack begins with Jack staring at his goal, which is a time portal. As he's walking towards this time portal, it is snatched out of nowhere by Aku. The journey of failure continues. It's such an interesting episode because it feels like it's a spin-off in this show. As a matter of speaking, the first few episodes of this show felt very spin-offish. I was watching episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I went, hey, wait a minute, where the hell is Aku? There's even a companion piece to the Tales of Aku episode in Season 1. This time it's Tales of Jack. And then I looked at all the episode titles. They all went like this, Jack and fill in the blanks. The season stopped being a season of Jack and Aku, and instead it became just about Samurai Jack. But the problem or issue I have with Season 2 of Samurai Jack is that it's more of the same. It's a very slow-built sequence to a very fast-paced action sequence. There is one episode, however, which gets into the spiritual and existential realm, and it offers some neat imagery, one of them being Jack hunched over on his knees, silhouetted against the red sky, proclaiming it is impossible when talking about his quest to catch Aku. That's what I wanted more of in this season. That's where the season should have headed, Jack questioning his journey and asking himself, is it even worth it? However, with that being said, the format does lead itself to some great backstory building of Samurai Jack, some depressing backstory of Samurai Jack, one of them being him reminiscing about his past. It's literally the whole episode. However, the crown jewel of this season, and that's saying a lot because this season has a lot of action-packed episodes, but the crown jewel is the episode named Jack and the Spartans. An episode which is directly inspired off of Frank Miller's 300. Most of the episode is projected in a box. It's all very narrow, and it adds to the cinematic feel. There's tons of lightning, rain, and slow motion as well, previously not seen in the show. And the music is pretty impactful as well, very reminiscent of Hans Zimmer's work on films such as Gladiator and the Dark Knight trilogy. And now let me give you an example of how the music is similar to films such as Gladiator and the Dark Knight Rises. Remember the ending of Gladiator when Maximus Decimus Meridius dies and he goes into this existential realm, he goes into heaven of sorts, and we hear this woman musically humming, and we hear that same stuff going on during the violent scenes. It really sheds a light on the violence, and it asks the paradoxical question, at least to me, is violence the only way to peace? That's what I got, at least. And one more thing which I found really cool in this episode was that the color of this episode is a character in and of itself as well. Whenever the Spartans are becoming more and more monstrous, we see them as shadows, completely immersed in black, almost silhouetted. But when their cause and reason of their fighting is told to us and we understand it, they're seen as heroes. We see them bathed in white robes. The color palette of Samurai Jack, Genndy Tartakovsky, the creator of this show, said that he wanted to make it white versus black on a canvas of red. This episode takes it a step further by adding all those colors into the Spartans' uniforms, which makes it a very standout episode on every level, especially the costumes. This season, whereas it neglects the framework of the show, which is Jack traveling in the past to get back at Aku, it tells another story of Jack and his material possessions. He realizes how valuable everything is, from his sword to his clothes to his damn slippers as well. Another thing this season did which was really commendable was it showed Jack losing. One of my favorite episodes is Jack going up against a tribe of hunters hired by Aku called the Imakandi. Just the addition of the Imakandi shows off the world as Aku has to travel to find them, and it shows off Jack by putting him in a dark moment of loss. The Imakandi beat him, and the ending of the episode is incredibly cathartic and somber at the same time. This season had tons of great episodes. Jack and the Farting Dragon shines from a humor perspective. Jack vs. Demongo the Soul shines from an antagonist's point of view. Jack and the Three Monks is something you'll never see in a cartoon, that being the spiritual symbolism of a journey told through a mountain climb. And as I said earlier, Jack and the Spartans and Jack and the Hunters offered very specific developments to the show and the character of Samurai Jack. But it did lack connective tissue to the framework of the story, which isn't necessarily a problem. Season 2 of Samurai Jack became more of telling cinematic stories as a short film. But I really wish that they mentioned more of Aku and what he's up to in this season. Still, however, a very good season, and I'm giving Samurai Jack Season 2 a final rating of 4. Thank you so much for watching, people. If you enjoyed this video, remember to hit that like button. It helps me out, trust me. And remember to hit that free subscribe button as well. But until next time, remember to love yourselves.